Welcome everybody to our high speed healing bonus call this week. I'm here today. If you don't know me, I'm Debora Wayne. I'm the founder of the International Chronic Pain Institute. And today I wanted to do a special live no cost call there's just been so many new people coming into my universe since Clubhouse began. A lot of you have never seen your faces before. I've only seen little talking heads. Many of you here will probably be listening that are in my various programs or that I've worked with before, but I just wanted to, from time to time, I like to do special calls and really go over different topics that I'm seeing this on Clubhouse, that there's a thirst. There is a thirst for learning how to live pain-free without drugs, without pills, without potions, without lotions, without talking about it for 10 years, right? And everything that I do, every moment of my waking and sleeping hours, basically goes to helping people understand that there really are solutions that are out of the conventional way of thinking about cutting it out, drugging it out. There's a whole new way of healing, and it's faster and easier than you think. And it can be just actually mind-blowing to discover that there are solutions. But I think in the back of our minds, we know that. And that's why so many people don't give up. They are racked with pain for decades, or they have symptoms of some kind, or nothing shows up on a medical test, or they go to the conventional medical doctors and they take everything to the letter that they're told to take, and nothing changes. And then they get frustrated. So they start looking around for natural medicine. And then they start taking handfuls of supplements. They're doing different kinds of treatments. They know, they believe there's something that can help them, but they are not really sure anything's working. And then they're afraid to stop taking the supplements, right? And they're starting to get even more discouraged. And so this is where I come in, because I have been down that road. I went down that road a long time. And it really, I understand the time, energy, money, and utter frustration of that journey. And so what I'm here to share today is something that happened to me very unexpectedly, that rocked my world and actually gave me a sense of a higher purpose, a mission, a sense of, oh my God. Once I got through my fears about sharing it and thinking that the whole world was going to think I was cuckoo, and I had enough proof for quite a few years, that's when I came out into the world to share with you, and I haven't stopped since, that there really is a very unique way of healing. And there are 3 exact things you must do if you want to live pain-free. And I'm going to share with you tonight the number one thing you're most likely doing that practically guarantees your pain and symptoms will stop in their tracks and they will not leave. And this is the misunderstanding and why so many people get stuck. So I'm going to be sharing that with you. And I'm going to cram as much as I can into the short hour that we have. And you want to stay till the end, because I also am doing something next week that I know you're going to want to attend, and I have a special gift for you for that. So I'll tell you about that too. And if there's time, I'll take questions. So if you have questions for me, you can type them in the chat, and I'll do my best to make it interactive so that you get your personal questions answered as well. So, oh my God, those of you that know me, I could talk on this topic for months. So I will gather my thoughts the best I can to give you the nuggets, all right? The golden nuggets. Number 1, and you grab a pen and paper. You want to write this down, because it goes in and part of you is going to go, oh my God, that's it. And you think you're going to remember, but you may not. And so I want you to write certain things down. These are the Debora-isms I want to indelibly etch into your brain so that you're dreaming of me at night instead of your problem. All right, so Debora-ism number 1. The symptoms of your pain, and by the way, but when I say pain, just fill in the blank. with whatever you've got going on. It might be physical pain, like back pain, neck pain, hip pain, shoulder pain. It could be that you have emotional pain like depression, anxiety, panic attacks, guilt, grief, shame. It could be that you've been suffering from things like binge eating. That was part of my story. Binge eating or starving yourself to death, not eating at all. It could be that you have had trauma, either from childhood, either somewhere in your life where there was abuse, or it could be trauma from an accident or an injury or a surgery that went bad. It could be trauma from the lovely times we're living in. Literally, it could just be trauma, not just, but trauma from everything going topsy-turvy. That's it. We're living in traumatic times. Trauma doesn't mean you are in Iraq with guns going off. Okay, that's trauma for sure. But trauma is getting on the freeway with the road rage and they're 4 inches from your bumper and they're pissed at you. Okay, that's traumatic. It could be that you're suffering from insomnia and you haven't slept a decent night without a sleep aid in a long time. It could be that you have migraine headaches and you just don't know why, and nobody has been able to help you. It could be that you have some kind of mysterious illness and they do know what it is, but you've taken all the stuff and nothing's worked. It could be any number of chronic conditions that you've been suffering from, and I call that pain. It could even be that you have a pattern of painful relationships or painful finances, painful romances, painful career issues. I put it all together in one big word called pain. So whatever I'm going to teach you today and share with you today, it will apply to any pain pattern or painful symptoms that you have. Okay. So don't think I'm not talking to you. I am. So let me back up. So number one, the symptoms of your pain are never, underline, bold, never, the root cause of the problem. The symptoms of your pain or patterns are never the root cause of the problem. Now, if you want to heal something, you have to heal it at the roots. If you just try to put a patch over a cracked wall and then put beautiful wallpaper on it, that wall is still cracked and the crack will get bigger and come crumbling down at some point. Your pain is no different. If you just slap a pretty Band-Aid over the symptom of it and you try to suppress it, repress it, deny it, medicate it, pretend it's magically going to just disappear, it's not going to truly heal. Even if you get temporary relief, those of you that get temporary, but it comes back, it comes back, it comes back. Why does it come back? Because you've not gone deep enough to the roots. Okay, so Debora-ism number 2. There are always hidden reasons for your pain and symptoms that are not necessarily visible to the eyes. There are invisible, hidden reasons that lie at the root of pain and patterns and dis-ease. And we live in a world that believes in what you can see and touch. We live in a world that relies on physical reality. If I can see it, I'll believe it. When I see it, I'll believe it, right? Anybody heard that before? I'll believe it when I see it. Well, guess what? It doesn't work that way. It actually works in reverse. Your physical reality, including your body, is not the cause, it's the effect. It's the effect. Your physical body and your physical life are the last place, not the first place that anything shows up. So where the heck is it before it shows up? Write this down. It's in the invisible realm. It's not visible to the naked eye, to most people, but it's very, very real. It's in the subtle level of reality. the subtle energy and vibration, which is invisible to the naked eye, unless you're what they call clairvoyant and you can see the invisible. And so, again, if you look at our culture, especially in America, we have poo-pooed the hell out of anything invisible and made it weird and crazy and, oh, it's all in your head, or you're imagining things, and oh, that imagination, that's just little childlike stuff. Guess what? Albert Einstein, anybody heard of him? He said the imagination is more powerful than knowledge. Now, a man like that doesn't just say that loosely. He said it for a reason, because our imagination is always at work, and it's either helping us co-create something we want or something we don't want. And most of us have not been taught how to use the mind, the thinking mind, the imagination properly. And so guess what? You're using it unconsciously, and it's giving you results, but you don't even realize you're participating in those results because no one teaches us this stuff. When did you learn in your educational process or from your parents? Maybe you had amazing parents, but when did you learn to look at the invisible and discover how you were using your thoughts and how powerful it is? No one ever said that to me. In fact, what I heard was, oh, you shouldn't think that way. Oh, you shouldn't feel that way. Oh, you're just imagining things. Oh, grow up. Oh, get over it. Oh, don't think like that. Don't think like that. My God, I heard that my whole life growing up. And I see some heads bobbing, so I know you get it. Everything that I learned, not everything, but a lot of the things I learned that were my reality was based on, once I hit my health hell and I crashed and burned, I had to unlearn, empty my head, and then relearn. In fact, somebody said to me many years ago, Deborah, you need a brainwashing. And they were right, because everything in there needed dumping out, washing, and then a lot of it needed throwing out. It wasn't serving me, and it wasn't even true, but I thought it was true. So I was basing everything that I did on these ideas that were actually causing me more of the pain that I was trying to get rid of. Holy moly, right? When I learned this, it was just shocking to me. And I learned that there are 3 exact areas that I had to work on and clean up before I could heal. And if I only did one of those 3, I was maybe going to get partial healing. And this is what I see every day with the clients that I work with, either in my group, in my pain-free living program, or in my membership program, or on Clubhouse, or when I work one-on-one. I hear this and see this every day with the people that come to me. They've done a little bit, they've done 1 or maybe even 2 of the 3. And they say, well, how come I haven't healed yet? I've been working on myself for decades. How many of you have had that thought? You know, I've been working on myself for decades. Why don't I still heal? And, you know, I understand it can really piss you off because you know you've been trying so hard. You've spent time and money. Look, the hands are going up. And I was the same way. And it's like, if you could have fixed yourself by now, you would have. So the other thing I want you to write down and remember is do not beat yourself up, because if you could have fixed yourself by now, I know almost all of you would have, because you haven't been just sitting around like a victim saying, oh, I'll do nothing about it. You've actually been searching, or you certainly wouldn't have found your way into my universe and be here on a call on a beautiful Tuesday in the summertime. You know, you wouldn't be here. You're the seekers, you're the trailblazers. And you know something has been nagging you. There is a solution. I know there is, and I'm not going to quit till I find it. I love that. That's that sovereign spirit, and we need that now more than ever. Okay, so what I discovered is there are 3 areas, and these areas have to be cleaned up, and these are the 3 areas. Number 1, you have to find and release, not just find, not just talk about it, not just know about it, but you have to find and release, underline release, the damaging, destructive habits of thought that you probably were given in childhood. These aren't necessarily your fault. It's nobody's fault. You were programmed like a computer when you were a kid. I hate to tell you, but you were. And the things that you saw, the things that you heard, the things people said to you and did to you, whether you understood it properly or not, whether you interpreted it correctly or not, they made an impression, and it laid the framework, the groundwork for everything you believe in to be true. And until you examine these and really take them and unpack that suitcase and look at, wow, is that even true? Is that even working for me? Is that even serving me? And start that process, which most people don't do until what? Until there's a crisis, or you've been down the long rabbit hole and you've tried everything and nothing's worked. And then you hear about this kind of fringe thing. Well, maybe it's about my beliefs. And so people start exploring that, right? So to some of you, this idea of exploring and cleaning up your beliefs won't be new. It's not new. But if that's all you do, you're going to get frustrated again. Because I have worked with a lot of people around the globe, and they say, but Debora, I've cleared all these beliefs. Every day I spend 2 hours clearing beliefs. Oh my God, my heart goes out to you if that's you. I did that too. It's not enough, because here's the other thing I want you to understand and learn today. Thoughts generate an emotional reaction. Your thoughts and your emotions are connected. They are just married to each other. And the emotional response creates more thoughts about the emotions. The emotions give you feedback. The reason you know you have emotions is your beautiful, amazing, wise body gives you feedback, and your body tells you when something feels good or doesn't feel good. And what do? We don't like the feedback, or we do, one or the other. And we give it meaning and a label and interpretation that can either help you or harm you. So you have the thoughts, you have the emotional reaction, and you get the feedback from that in your physical body or in your life. It shows up in your physical reality. And then you have a reaction to that, which generates more thoughts, more feelings, more thoughts, more feelings. And if you are stuck in a loop, which is why most of you get stuck, you're stuck in a loop of ideas that aren't serving you and emotions that you don't like. And so guess what happens? You don't release them. You just know you have them. So here we are again. Oh, I know I'm thinking about this. I've been talking to my therapist about it for 10 years. I know I have these emotions. I feel anxious. I feel depressed. But why can't I get rid of it? Because you haven't learned to release. And you're stuck in a loop, in a revolving door. And guess what people do when they get stuck in that loop? See if this fits you. They think about it more often and harder. And they start going to Dr. Google and doing research and getting more thoughts in their brain and talking to a lot of experts and getting more labels and more beliefs, and then more of an emotional reaction, more interpretation. Oh my God, we try to think ourselves out of the revolving door until, you know what usually happens? Exhaustion or drugs. Because eventually you're going to want to shut your head up, right? Because you're worn out and you're not sleeping and it's not helping and you're not feeling better. And now your stomach hurts and your pain is worse and the symptoms are flaring up and it wears us out. So that's what I did as well. You're not alone. This is the thing most people do. I ended up living on pills to calm and shut up my head, living on sleep aids or drinking myself till I passed out because I couldn't shut my head up and I was wired, for sound and I couldn't sleep. And I did that for years. And the quick fix for changing a feeling was to overdo sugar. Oh my God. I joke about it, but Ben and Jerry, we had a long time affair I didn't break up with them for decades. And, it would make me so sick, but for a while it would work because I could get literally high from a pint or two of ice cream. And I had a temporary, I was looking for that, from a pill or something. But, eventually that turned on me and almost killed me and led to having suicidal thoughts. Now, I don't want you to go down that rabbit hole. And so let me repeat and recap. Number one, we have to find, and keyword here, release the damaging thoughts that we're obsessing and Googling and not releasing. Number two, we have to find and release the damaging emotions. They're causing disturbances to our nervous system, our immune system. They wreak havoc and disrupt our hormones. Many people come to me with weight issues and they have no clue that it's really emotional issues going on that are not resolved. And their emotions have been causing cortisol to just pump, 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 pump. And that's putting on weight. And they keep starving themselves and over exercising, which actually increases the cortisol. And they wonder why they can't sleep and lose weight. And they're starved. And really has nothing to do with food. Nothing. Or exercise. So we have to release. And then the third area, and this is my thank you, God, area of expertise, it's the energy field. And what I discovered back in, believe it or not, 1984, I had a really incredible spiritual experience when I was in the throes of my health hell, where I just finally gave up because I couldn't figure it out. And I really wanted to die, quite frankly. And in that prayer of desperation, the solution came to me. The wisdom came to me. Now, it took me quite a while to really assimilate all that information and get consistent results so that I knew I hadn't gone cuckoo. And I was, I couldn't just come out and tell people. They would have really thought I cracked up. And I wasn't sure what was happening for a while. I had to integrate this I had actually a series of spiritual experiences. But I knew I wasn't crazy. I just was so blown away by what happened that I had to integrate that for quite some time before I was able to put it in a form that I could bring to the world. And I had enough proof that, wow, you have to take a look at this, because this is the key to speed up the healing process and to even help you find the disturbances that you could talk about for years and not find because you don't remember. You don't even remember certain experiences you had that impacted you so greatly and you don't even remember. It could have been the look on someone's face when you were 5. It could have been the slap. It could have been the punishment. It could have been a man you saw at the restaurant at dinner when you were out to eat at 6 years old and something about him scared you. It could have been so many things that you would say, oh, well, that couldn't be it. But we imprint experiences that we either misinterpret or we interpret correctly, where typically we don't feel safe. We get scared. And we're either in real harm, we're really in danger. Like if you grew up with violence or addiction in your family, or neglect, or a lot of hypercritical, environment where you would get criticized or yelled at, or, if you grew up where you didn't feel safe, this imprints, my friends, this becomes your home vibration. And what was revealed to me in that pivotal moment of my life was that everything is vibration. Everything, underline everything. I'm not talking about just music. I'm talking about your body is a vibrational pattern. Your body is not physical. It's a vibrational pattern. The walls that look so solid, I could see them vibrating. I could feel everything vibrating. I could hear the vibrational tones. I can actually still hear them today anytime I want to. And when I work on people with my energy healing method, I can hear notes and sounds and tones. Everything in the cosmos is made of sound, vibration, frequency. We talk about it now, it's kind of in thing to talk about energy, but I don't think that people are always understanding that correctly. It's not just energy like, oh, I have a lot of energy. It's vibration. It's vibrational information, it's particular frequencies that are everywhere present, that are affecting us and that are holding things in form. So for example, like somebody who's got back pain has a different vibrational pattern than somebody with kidney disease, or somebody with heart stuff, or somebody with, spinal curvature. These are like, think of it like different music. Every music has its own signature, right? You look at the notes, it's a certain pattern of notes, the way they go together, and you can distinguish how it sounds from the pattern of notes, the way it's strung together, like a sentence of vibrations. Well, your body is like a sentence of vibrations that you hold in form in a certain way, and that's why yours is different than mine. Now, how do you hold it in form? This is going to blow your mind. Your thoughts, your memories, your imprints. And this is why the number one reason that most people don't heal and why your patterns get stuck and they don't leave. I don't care how much you will them and want them to leave. There's actually 13 reasons, but the number one reason is you try to stop the very feedback you're getting. You don't like how it feels, so you try to make it stop, make it go away, numb it out, drug it out, cut it out. You don't learn how to go into it and learn from it. You don't learn the message in it. And you don't realize it's just a vibration. If you knew it was just a piece of music, you wouldn't be upset about it. But we get scared of it because we have a lot of belief that there's power in it. And most people have a belief in two powers. They believe in disease and they believe in health. And think about it. If you believe in disease and that disease or pain has power, you need a stronger power to overcome it, to fight it. This is the whole model we've been taught. This is why there's war on everything. War on cancers, war on this, we got to go to war, go to battle. We got to overpower. I don't come from that understanding. And that's why so many people get stuck. Because if you understood that everything, including your pain, your patterns, your symptoms, are vibrational patterns that you are holding in form based on how you think about them, how you believe about them, and your emotions about them. If you knew that all that was changeable and was affecting you, you could start changing it immediately. Who's with me? Anybody with me? Yeah. This, my friends, is the best news on the planet. And the fastest way to release and change and start moving all of this out, it's not even thinking about it, talking about it, and feeling about it. It's working in the energy field. Now, don't get me wrong. I still believe you need to do all three, because I've worked with literally hundreds of thousands of people over the years. And years ago, so for the past 6 years, I've only worked virtually. And 6 years plus, for many years I had an office. And just like you would go, anywhere, that people would come in one at a time and I would work on them one at a time. And they would leave, and most of them, I would work on 1, 2, 3, 4, however many sessions, usually 4, like sometimes 1 or 2 or 3. In those days, after a while, I realized 3, 4, 5, 6 sessions is ideal. So most people would work with me 4 to 6 sessions. And they would say, wow, this is life changing. I can't even believe it. My fibromyalgia I've had for 30 years, it's gone. I'm pain free. My arthritis, it's gone. They would say, wow, I slept like a baby for the first time in 12 years. Wow, I stopped binge eating. I don't even feel like binge eating. Like I don't even feel like it. Oh my God, I lost weight without trying. Or they say, wow, I went to the doctor. My thyroid's completely better. Or my digestion, I can eat again without a stomach ache, without throwing up. Um, on and on and on. People were having remarkable results. This is what gave me the courage to take it out into the world, because I saw this firsthand every day, all day, and a wide range of symptoms. Tremors, tumors, cysts. I mean, it was mind blowing, quite frankly. I still pinch myself because now I know anything's possible, anything. And I felt privileged really to be part of that journey with people. So, but what I started seeing or hearing really is that some of these people within, I don't know, 6 months, a year, they would call me, but sometimes longer. They would call me up and they'd say, Deborah, the pain is back or the symptom is back. Why is it back? So being the inquisitive type, I had to figure this out. And so I had a deep conversation with every person that was calling me back. And I discovered exactly what was going on. And in every case, they were not able to hold the vibrational pattern that I helped them bring in, the new pattern of health and energy and feeling good, because of one or more of their beliefs or emotions they didn't realize they were stuffing down, down, down. They were not letting them come up. They were not processing and resolving the pain of life. They weren't digesting life. And so it started to come out sideways as a symptom. But they at least knew enough now to not just get discouraged, to say, okay, let's figure this out with me. And we did. And this is why I created the program that I did, because I wanted everybody to master these tools on their own. So you don't need me the rest of your life. It's why I want to teach people about these tools and how to find and clear beliefs and emotions. So that's really how it all started. It's why I wrote my book. And by the way, if you didn't download a copy of the book, or you want the kind you can underline, you have to get the real, harder copy, the paperback from Amazon. It's called Why Do I Still Hurt? But if you want a free copy, please come to my website. I will put in the chat. If you go to internationalcpi.com, you can sign up to get a free download, a digital version of the book, and download to any device. And I encourage you to read it, because it's not just a storybook. It's actually designed to help you start to think differently about the hidden reasons, and to bring up some of your unconscious patterns and look at your symptoms and pain and whatever's going on in a different way. It's designed to get your healing process going. So we have to look at the mind, we have to clear the emotions, and we have to go work in the energy field. Now, not all energy healing is the same. And this is, again, another big misunderstanding. And I'm not here to bash or dash any other type of energy healing. Thank God people are doing it, really, because the more people that do it, the more people become aware that this is even a possibility. I became a Reiki master back in the early 1980s when all this started, because I didn't know what the hell was happening to me, but I somehow found myself invited to learn Reiki. And I was one of the first Reiki practitioners in Arizona where I learned to do it and became a Reiki master. Now, I knew what was happening to me was different than Reiki, but I wanted something to call it. I wanted a framework. I wanted to be around people that were at least open to, more than just the physical pills. And I had to personally also find a way to live without drugs. I didn't want to live that way. So, but as time went on, and as my sensitivity increased and my skill increased, and more importantly, as my intuition really got stronger and stronger, I was being very clearly taught from internally to bring in a new form of healing. And quite frankly, I don't even really think of it as energy healing, but I call it that sometimes because everybody now knows what that word means, or they'll say, well, is it like Reiki? And so at least they have some kind, everybody looks for something to understand, right? Um, but I would really say that this is vibrational frequency healing. And that's really what it is. And I bought that URL, God, probably 20 years ago, at least, maybe longer. But when I started sharing it with people, they said, what the hell does that mean? Because nobody then was even talking about frequencies. Now they are more and more because the science is catching up finally with what I do. There was no science that I found at all. Wasn't looking for it either, but there was not as much science back then in the 80s. There's been a huge explosion of science around the biofield, which is the name that was given to the field of energy and information that surrounds every living thing, including your body. The biofield, I didn't make that name up. The National Institute of Health gave it that name in the 1992. But that's very recent. So it's really only been the past 10 years, people are really starting to talk about this more and more. And it's based on the principles of physics and vibrational resonance, and how we live in a world where we are all interconnected. And we are living in a gigantic ocean of information that's vibrational. And if you think about the ocean itself, the real ocean, and how it looks like a big, huge body of water, but it's billions of little droplets. Well, you and you and you and you and you, and we're all little droplets, but we're all interconnected in this ocean of energy and information. And I want you to think of it in kind of an abstract way. But even a conversation like today that we're having, you being here, you being open, you starting to think about these concepts and write them down, you starting to talk about this stuff, we are today putting new information into that ocean that everybody's connected to. And guess what? It makes it faster and easier for even people who could care less about this to get that information unconsciously, and it starts to change the vibration on our planet. And this is why there's a speeding up of this information, because more and more and more people are getting sick and tired of the cut it out, drug it out, and they're seeking and talking about and searching for these alternative ways of healing. And they unknowingly are feeding more and more of that possibility and information into the collective consciousness, the collective field. And more people are sensing and getting that information. So whether you know it or not, just you being here is actually a higher purpose that's helping other people besides yourself. So don't ever think that you don't have a purpose, that there's nothing, that your pain doesn't have a purpose. There's a message in your pain, and it's there to teach you and guide you and help you evolve. And whether you realize it or not, you're actually going first. You're ahead of the curve, or you would not be on a call like this. You would still be, swallowing those pills and lying in your bed blaming somebody. But you are here for, yes, yourself and the planet, and to uplift and bring new information to everybody. And you're contributing to that. So I want to thank you for that. I mean, thank God people are open and listening to this. I'd be just all alone, and I was for a lot of years. And even today, it still feels like, we got a long way to go, but it is getting easier and faster. And so I'm so grateful to each and every one of you who's open to this conversation. Even if you're skeptical, I welcome all skeptics. I'm a big skeptic to this day. I don't believe everything I hear and see and read, and neither should you. It requires an experience. So I kind of go into everything with, well, prove it to me. If I have a change, if I have an experience, then I'll believe you. But I'm not going to just take everything like, oh yeah, that's not me. And if I hadn't seen and with my own eyes all these amazing healing results over the years, I wouldn't be here today. And I wish that it were true that I could just wave the magic wand here and everybody would get what I want them to get. And it doesn't work that way. And yes, a lot of people see, when you work in the field, in the biofield, there's no time. It doesn't take time. This is a misunderstanding. And time has to do with the three-dimensional realm. But when you work at a higher state of consciousness, which is what high-speed healing does, it accesses a different vibrational frequency. Think of your TV, and you're on one channel, which is a particular frequency, but you got 100 more on that cable, and you can switch the frequency with the remote and dial into a completely different show. Well, I'm dialed into a different frequency than the traditional conventional way of thinking about health and healing. And I can access this state 24/7. It's just like my normal now, and it has been for a long time. And I can become the mediator to help you access a different frequency that you're not able to on your own yet, or you would have. And that's what I do, is I help change the vibrational frequency via the field that we're interconnected in. Even if you live in Timbuktu, it doesn't require you being in my physical presence, and it doesn't require me touching you, and it doesn't require you understanding or believing in it. This is the real beauty. You don't have to believe in this for it to work. I've had a lot of skeptics. That's why I brought this up, because a lot of people are skeptical, and rightly so. But if you do this for a series of times, you will probably have an experience that you cannot deny. And I'm not here to convince anybody. I gave that up years ago. I keep providing the experience for people so that you say, oh my God, how is that possible? Oh my God, Deborah, my pain's gone. Oh my God, how did that happen? Oh my God, I want you to have that, not just believe a bunch of stuff I tell you. And if you haven't yet, you really do owe it to yourself. If you go to my website and you read the success stories, they will blow you away. If you go to international, whoops, I'm going to type it in the chat, internationalcpi.com/success. It's either success stories, yeah, I think, or I can't remember, or it's /testimonials. I think it's testimonials. Try both. But if you go there, you're going to read things that will truly blow your mind, and you'll think, how is that possible? It's possible because high-speed energy healing works outside the realm of time and space the way we know it. This field, this biofield, this quantum field, you hear different names. Some people call it the divine mind, or the universal mind, or the field of the non-local field of correlation is a very technical way that physicists will refer to it. It can also be called a spin field, a torsion field, an information field. It depends on what world you're in. If you're in the scientific world, you'll hear different names. But they're talking about the invisible field that we are all interconnected with each other in. And think about this. Your thoughts travel faster than the speed of light. Your thoughts are instantaneous. They don't require time or space. So it's back to when I started this call. We have to realize this invisible realm, which includes thought, and then the emotions, which you can't see either, but they're like the fuel that puts that gas and the pedal to the metal. And if you repeat thoughts long enough and you fuel it with emotion, you're going to create something in your physical life or body. And all of those thoughts and emotions are made of a particular vibrational pattern. And if I enter the picture and I become so sensitive, I just can scan that energy field. And in your field, and again, there's science behind this, the field can be photographed, They can show, I've been in a research lab where they photographed me working on people and with equipment that you're not going to hear about much because it comes out of Russia and Japan. But it photographs this field around your body and it shows where the disturbances are. And you can see even before, and I'm talking years before it shows up in the body, you can see on these graphs where the problems are. Now, I have learned to feel them instantly. So I can scan your body like an MRI scans your body. And I can find and feel where the disturbances are. And I have access to the harmonious vibrational frequencies that will talk via the field connection to the cells of your body and change your vibrational frequency that you're carrying around and shift you often, and it can happen instantly, to a different frequency. And then, oh my God, I feel different, I look different, I sound different, I sleep. Where's the tumor? Where's the cyst? Oh my God, the back pain's gone. This is how it works. I bring in frequencies you haven't accessed on your own. These frequencies talk to you. Think music, just like music. You know how you listen to some music and you're just like, and other music and you're like, turn that off, get that noise out of here, right? I bring in good music from the cosmos that is available to us. And I have what I call an inner technology. It doesn't require $1 million equipment. It's an inner technology that I've learned to access over many years of practice and things that I did. And I refined my ability to transmit this and to help you get the leg up that you need till you can hold it on your own. Now, let me look at some of the questions in the chat. If you have comments, questions, please feel free to type them in the chat. I love seeing your smiles and your nodding heads, so thank you. Anyone who'd like to turn on their camera, feel free. So Marvin is saying, I once heard that your emotions are your body's reaction to what your mind is thinking. Is that the same as what you're saying? That's a beautiful way of thinking about it. So yeah, your mind is thinking something that will generate an emotional reaction, an emotional response. And what I've learned is that there are really 3 types of learners. There are 3 different types of ways of perceiving information. Some people are thinkers. I talk about this in my book, by the way. Some people are thinkers and they're very aware of their thoughts, but they're not aware of their emotions. Other people are what I would call feelers. And they are very aware of how they feel, like all the time, and they want to turn that off because it's just too much. But they're not aware that their thoughts are generating. They're not aware of how the thoughts actually came first, but they know how they feel. And then there are people who are what I call the kinesthetic learners. They're the people they're just aware of, my body hurts. This hurts, get rid of it. But they're not aware that the body's connected to the thoughts and the emotions. So Marvin, yes, thoughts are connected and they generate emotions, and then emotions generate more thoughts. And this just becomes that loop I was talking about. So that's really good. Tony's asking, since some of these things are unconscious, how do you find it? Well, I find it because I feel it. Your body tells you right now what your unconscious mind believes, okay? Your unconscious is not that hidden. Your body and your life are expressing what you actually believe in your unconscious. And that's why people say to me, oh, Debora, I believe in health. I believe in health. Well, then you wouldn't be racked with pain because your unconscious and your conscious are not in alignment and something is not resolved. And your conscious mind believes in health, and people say to me, oh, I believe in abundance, but I'm flat broke all the time. And you see, you believe consciously, you want that, but unconsciously there's something operating that you haven't discovered yet. That's where my whole mission is to help people find the hidden reasons. I can find them in the energy field. And a lot of times just by me working on you, for you, with you, they release. And so people become aware of the unconscious ideas or emotions or events without me talking to them. And they'll say, oh my God, I remembered. In fact, Tony, your wife, said this. I remembered an event that happened 30 years ago. Oh my God, I've never even remembered it before. I never told anyone before. And it starts to come up. That's one of the main benefits of the high speed energy healing that I provide, is that we don't have to talk for 10 years to try to find it and remember it. I can help bring it up and release it, help you release it. And I have watched more people. I've worked with a lot of women who have different types of abuse. It's mind blowing how many men and women, but particularly the women. I mean, my God, it's mind blowing what we've been through. And I have watched overnight people who have been victims of abuse for decades, literally, after I work on them, just change overnight, and they stand up and they say, no more. I'm done. You're done. Bye-bye. This is not going to happen again, because the things that are disturbing you and causing you problems typically come from your conditioning, your programming when you were little, and it's not who you really are. And when you get back in your power, I call it, lined up in your true nature, you're not going to put up with or experience what you have been that is coming from your conditioning. For example, I was taught to always be nice, always say yes, always smile and put on a happy face. Oh my God, that about killed me. But I did it for decades. I was Miss People Pleaser of the Year. But when I started doing this type of work and I started telling the truth, I stopped being so nice. I stopped saying yes. I stopped a lot of things. I took my power back and I changed. And I stopped, you hear people say, how did I attract that over and over? I stopped. It wasn't that, that I wanted it. It's that I didn't know any different. I was following a pattern that I had been taught, and I changed my pattern. And that changed my choices, my thoughts, and my emotions. And guess what? My life changed as a result. My friends changed. My work changed. My body changed. See, when you change internally, the outside must change. It's what I said at the beginning of the call. Your outer life, your physical body, your physical life is the effect, not the cause. The inner invisible world is the cause. So you're back to your question, Tony, your body is showing you what the real unconscious believes, and then it's showing up in your body, and your body's trying to get your attention. And that's what I teach and I go deeper with when I work with people in my programs. Well, Tony, you may not have needed to study Reiki because you're going to work with me. And I know that because we've already talked about that. And again, I'm not to badmouth Reiki, but what I do is like, we joke about it. It's like Reiki on steroids. It's like the results, that's why I don't practice Reiki. Again, not that Reiki's bad or wrong, but I started getting results that were 100 times what I was getting with Reiki. So why would I do that? That's probably, Tony, why you came into my universe a long time ago. All right. And Kathy's saying I believe I'm calling it, I hope I'm calling it right, BICOM, bioresonance therapy. Yeah. And it's in bioresonance stuff I know only a little about it. I've never experienced it, but it works with frequencies. And in fact, this morning, someone was talking about bioresonance and how accurate it was in something that they needed. So see, frequencies, we've entered the age. The minute we all clicked onto that internet and we connected with the entire World Wide Web, that's the metaphor. That was the moment we entered the age of energy, vibration, and frequency. We entered that age when you first connected to the World Wide Web. Everything we see in the outer world is a reflection of what's really going on in the invisible. Everything, including the web, is a metaphor. It's the effect of what's really true in the invisible realm. This is a very esoteric discussion that we're not going to go down that rabbit hole today, but everything, I'm talking everything that you see in the world is a reflection of our collective state of consciousness, of our collective vibrational frequency. And as we change, the world we see changes. And that's why it's important that we do the work to clean up the inner pollution. If we ever want to see outer pollution and war and hate go away, we got to clean it up internally, because it doesn't just go away. It's not out there. It's out there because it's in here. You with me? I'm loving the head nodding. Thank you. Let's see. I'm not going to demonstrate tonight, but I'm going to invite you now to a really amazing event that I've decided to do again. I haven't done in a while. And it's coming up. Is it this Monday? When is August? Where's my calendar? Hang on.
It's Monday.
When is it?
August 2nd, Monday.
August 2nd. Is that this Monday? I'm so like not with it today. Hang on. Is August 2nd this Monday?
Yes, I'm very excited about it.
All right. August 2nd is this Monday. Yes, it is. All right. So I'm inviting all of you to come to spend the day with me, the whole day, this Monday, August 2nd. We're going to break the day up. It's not really all day. You won't be exhausted. It's an online virtual event. We do it over Zoom. It's audio only, so you can be in your PJs and no one will see that you haven't done your hair and makeup. And it's very safe. It's, it also makes it people feel more safe because you can't see each other, but you can feel safe enough to share without people seeing who you are. And it's called the Day of High Speed Healing Immersion. And it's exactly that. You're going to be immersed in the high speed healing frequencies all darn day. I'm going to give you on that day, I'm going to go deep into the discussion of these hidden reasons. I'm going to give you literally what I've discovered over 30 years now, the top 13 reasons for all pain and symptoms, the root cause. I'm going to give those to you so you can stop trying to figure it out. You're going to find yourself on the list. You'll be able to actually print that list out. You will discover things that you didn't realize before. I'm going to help you get those blind spots out of the way that have been keeping you from seeing why I don't heal, why you don't heal. I'm going to do 2 full high-speed healing sessions, one in the morning and one in the late afternoon. And I've constructed the day so that wherever you live in the world, there will be either in the morning or the afternoon section, you'll be able to show up live and it won't be the middle of the night. So there is a time slot that should work for everybody wherever you live in the world. And I'm going to record the entire day so you can go back and you'll have access. You'll have 5 days access to the whole thing. You can go over it and over it. You can do the healing sessions over and over for 5 days. And I have done this event now. It's my favorite event because I'm like one of those very impatient people and I kind of like, give it to me all now. So I like to do a lot and kind of dive deep and get it over with. That's what the Day of Healing is. It's for if you're busy, if you like a big long download of information, if you want the deep experience, if you want my personal help, if you want to be with people who are committed and open and dedicated to healing and are willing to think out of the box. That's what this day is for. And we're going to start Monday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time. It says, I'm going to send you to the link. I'll put it in the chat. It's going to tell you. Okay. Oh, wait, I wanted this to go to everybody, not just Candy. There we go. All right. So, oops. I don't know why this is going to different people. Let me put this. I'll let this go. Everyone in the meeting. All right. Internationalcpi.com/DOHPS. That link is going to take you to the page with all the details and the information about the Day of Healing. And here's my birthday present to you. My birthday's coming up, and I'm going to give. I like to do this around my birthday time and give you a present. It's half off for those of you who go to this link. You will get it for half off, and you're welcome to share this with anyone and everyone, family, friends, people, coworkers, people you know that would benefit. And when you go to that link, you'll see all the details that I'm not going to go into today, unless you have questions. And then you'll be able to register and show up Monday and spend the day with me. Now, here's how it works. There's a morning section. It's going to tell you from 10 to 12:30. I always go over because people have questions, and we usually plan on a good 1 o'clock. Okay. Then we take a break, but at the break, there are bonus things that are going to come to you in your email. There's homework, there's an assignment, and it's designed to help you keep the healing going all through the day. And so I want you to plan on, if at all possible, like take the whole day off and make it a very sacred day just for your self-care. When have you taken a whole day to just really dive into your self-care? This would be the time to do it. Now, if you can't, I understand. But if you can, I recommend that you do. And if not, or if you're exhausted and it's just too much, you can do it at your own pace. That's why I record it. So you'll be able to go slow or fast or anywhere in between, according to what you really need and what works for your lifestyle. And if you can't come at all, we have people that don't come, but they get the recording and everybody has results anyway. So it's not like you have to be there live. I would get the recording anyway, even if you can't come live. But if you're there live, you can raise your hand. I'm going to take Q&A throughout the day. I'm going to work with people on the call. You're going to benefit from everyone that I work with. It's really quite astounding who shows up. Never an accident who shows up. The right people with the right issues and the right questions. Like, it tends to benefit everybody. And we go deep. So, and then we'll take that break, and then we come back at 5 p.m. Pacific. And I usually go, it's going to tell you 7:30, but it's usually till 8. And sometimes later, I mean, I have to, usually there's so many questions, I have to stop, but I will just try to answer and work with as many people as possible. The morning is more for the teaching. I have a lot of stuff about the 13 reasons I want to go into, so you really get a deep understanding of these hidden reasons and start to look at yourself and your pain and your patterns in a new way. Then I have more time. I don't go over the same stuff in the afternoon. So in the afternoon, I have a lot more time to take questions, callers, work with people. And I'm forgetting probably the most important part. Both in the morning and the afternoon, I do 2 full high-speed energy healing sessions on the same day. You're going to have such a deep experience, both for your left brain linear thinking mind and your energy field and your right brain and the intuitive side and the I'm going to work in your field and help you start to release all these disturbances that you may not know that you have. And you will be, some people literally like walk away just never the same. I've had people, for those of you that know what multiple sclerosis is, a lot of people who have MS are in wheelchairs. I've had 2 people on 2 different day of healings get up and walk after the day of healing. One of them listened to the recording. She wasn't even there live. That's how dramatic. So, not everyone has the big Hollywood dramatic thing, but most people really have something they can't deny. And there's a wide range depending on, everyone's case is different. I can't make a guarantee that you're going to get exactly what you want, but if you show up and you really participate and you receive, it's pretty, most people will, I read the emails, I hear the comments, like they write to me or they do, they work with me and they tell me, wow, like that was life-changing. And that's my goal and that's my intention. And I want that for everyone. So please join me Monday. I would be so honored to have each and every one of you spend the day with me. And here is a great comment. So Rochelle, I understand. Rochelle is saying that she's concerned about having the energy to get through the day. And I get it. And so a lot of people are too sick or too exhausted with chronic fatigue or whatever. And that's why for you, what I would recommend is you just come at the time that feels best that you can handle. If you're not a morning person, I get it. Just come whenever. You just come at any time, and you will show up at the perfect right time for you. And you can take the recording and you can leave whenever you feel it's too much and listen to your body. And then you'll get the recording either that night or the next day. And when you get the recording, you go at your own pace, and you'll have 5 full days. So you don't have to push, you don't have to power through, you don't have to kill yourself. You just go at your own pace and you'll be fine. I have that with a lot of people. And quite frankly, if you are that exhausted, anybody, what you really need are the high-speed healing sessions, because that's going to give you a leg up that won't wear you out, because there's no mind, there's no talking, there's no analyzing. That's what wears people out, is all the talking, the thinking, the figuring it out. It's exhausting even for me to do that. So what you need is the leg up that you get from the energy field transmission that I'm going to do for you. It's actually very relaxing. And a lot of people just go out and they're just, you're home, you're in your own bed. And that's why I love the virtual world, because you can stay very, very comfortable. And some people, the sessions will go on a lot longer. See, everybody's session time would really probably be different if I were, in a perfect world. But once I get it going, it will continue on you longer, as long as you need. And you'll know that, and you'll just go lie down and it will continue. So let's see, any other questions you guys have? You'll be on vacation. Okay, well, that's fine. Oh, Marielle from Clubhouse. Hi, it's so good to see you. Well, you could do it. You could get the recording and do it while you're on vacation, or at some point in the future, I may do it again. I love doing it. I just don't do it that often anymore. But so I can't give you a date. Nothing's really planned. But you guys can always come to me for a private session. I take private sessions, and I have a group program called the Pain-Free Living Program. Somebody asked about that. Is that still available? That's always available as long as I'm still doing it. And right now I am. And that's where I do the healing sessions every single week. So there's different ways you can work with me. It's not just on Monday. So some of you want to work with me privately, just reach out and we'll do that. Some of you would prefer a longer group, not just a one-day thing. Reach out. We've got something for every need. We really do. We've got something free if you got, financial challenges. We've got, by the way, though, you want to look at the PayPal loan if you are feeling stretched financially right now, because it's pretty amazing. PayPal gives my clients 6 months with no interest, and some people get 6 months with no payment and no interest. So it enables a lot of people to be able to take the group programs and other things. So you'll find that on that page at the link. And then, all right, so you'll find all the information about what I offer on the website, internationalcpi.com. If you have any questions, just send an email and it will come to me or my team. But usually if it's inquiring about working with me, I usually answer it when I can, as soon as I can. So I'll be happy to share with you. There's different one-on-one sessions, and I'll answer all your questions about that, you guys who are asking me, in an email format, because I could be here talking about that all day. So I want to go back and recap, and then I'm going to have to go. And those of you who are on Clubhouse at 6:30 today, if you haven't heard enough of me yet, come to Clubhouse. And I'm going to be on there tonight as well with a panel of my friends and colleagues. And we're going to be talking more about pain and why people don't heal. So you can have more of me if you haven't had enough yet. Come to Clubhouse, to the High Speed Healing Club. All right, so to recap, your symptoms are never the root cause of the problem. You must go to the roots, which are hidden from view. Think about the roots of a tree. You don't see the roots. They're hidden underground. You have to go deep enough and be asked the right questions to be able to get to the roots and pull them up and get rid of them in order to heal. Don't forget to get my book, because it talks about the roots and how to find them. And you can get a free copy of my book on the website. Number 3, pain is your friend. It's not your enemy. There's a message for you in your pain. And so rather than cut it out, drug it out, numb it out, eat food, gamble, sex, shop, whatever, you want to listen to your pain. You may need some help discovering what it means. I understand, but don't try to make that pain stop. You have to learn what the message in the pain is telling you. And I promise you, your answers are inside of you. And the pain is getting bigger and bolder and louder because you haven't learned what it's trying to teach you. And unfortunately, again, I'm not here to bash medicine. My father, my brother, my cousins, most of my friends are doctors, MDs, regular MDs. They want to help people, but in their training, they hit a wall of limitation. They don't get the training for how to go deeper. And that's the 3 areas: how to find and clear the beliefs, how to find and clear the emotions, and how to find and clear the energy field. More and more doctors and nurses are becoming open to this and know it. And they're, I've been training MDs now and a lot of nurses, but it's still just the tip of the iceberg. So, I think if you work with me, you can work with a conventional doctor. That it's not like one is against the other. You can certainly do, like, I have many people come to me with cancer of different types, and they are doing chemo, radiation, and conventional treatment, and they're doing high speed healing and my deeper work. Some people only want to do what I offer. Some people, want both. It works that way. You can do this in conjunction. You have to do what makes you the most peaceful. I'm not here to give you medical advice. I'm here to help in any way that you're open to. And a lot of people do work with me, strictly with me, and they get results, but that doesn't mean that's going to be for you. So I'm not here to tell you what to do. You've got to listen inside. You've got your answers inside to everything. And if you need help sorting that out, I'll be more than happy to help you hear yourself, but I won't tell you what to do. And so that's really how you want to look at your health anyway, and your life. And you don't want to be giving your power away, because there's a lot of people that will tell you how to run your life, how to think, how to act, how to dress, where to live, what to do every moment of every waking hour of your life. And that's called giving your power away. And that's what almost killed me, because I did that. And I work with a lot of people who do that, and they're angry, resentful, and usually have pain. And they feel like a victim, but they just didn't know there was another way. So if you hear nothing else that I say today, there is a solution. It may be faster and easier than you think. It's safe. It requires no pills, no potions, no lotions, no PT, and no giving up all the foods you love. It's different. And I would love to share it with you. So please keep coming back to the free calls, read my book, come to the Day of Healing on Monday. You'll find me on Clubhouse. Like, I'm everywhere. You can't miss me if you're open and willing to find me. And you'll see all the different ways you can follow me or find me. If you go to the website and sign up for the free gift, then you'll see, which I think most of you did, and that's how you got here today. So, and if not, just email, and we'll make you aware of all the different ways you can work with me or uh, hear the message. And we need to hear it again and again. I sure did, because it's a different understanding. And most of the world is still on another wavelength. And so it can be tricky to navigate at first unless you're surrounding yourself with the people and the practitioners and the methods that understand what I'm talking about and reinforce this new understanding of how health and healing works. And with that, thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you for your time, your energy. Thank you for being open. No matter where you live in the world, you will be able to attend. I'm seeing some comments about this. You'll be able to attend on Monday. So just check it out. Go to the link internationalcpi.com/DOHPS. It stands for Day of Healing Perfect Success. Spend the day with me. I would love to get to know you better and help you. And if not, come back to any of these other venues and just don't stop. Don't give up, and make sure that you stay open and just take the next step that you're able to take. Just don't stop. Take the next small step of what you're able to do today. And don't wait. Why wait to learn how to live pain-free? Take one more step today. And that's all, folks. Much love. Bye for now. Mwah. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Laurie. Thank you, Gil. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you, everybody. Good to see you, June. Always, June. You're so loving. All right. Bye, everyone.